18 months ago, I was introduced to Milton Hershey School, and I learned about its amazing mission to change the lives of thousands of children who come from backgrounds of poverty and need. These are children filled with promise, robbed of opportunities they deserve because of circumstances they can't control. But a generous act by Milton Hershey 100 years ago gave these children a second chance. He and his wife Catherine started a home and a school where staff and students form a community of family, and children are nurtured and guided to realize their talents and achieve their full potential. I experienced the caring shared on this campus, and I watched as these children began to transform over the course of just one school year. These children's futures are now brighter because of Milton Hershey School. I was delighted to have a look inside the school and to share this life-saving story with others. It is my hope that my film helps other families learn about the school. I congratulate Milton Hershey School on its first 100 years, and I wish all of you another century of life-saving success.
Sometimes I would feel that I would want a new family because my dad was out of the picture. My mom wasn't there for me.
Gail was a mother who, I was kind of jealous of her because she did stuff with those kids that I never did with her and her sister. I worked 2 jobs, and she seemed to be able to do the work, and still do the crafts and all that stuff that kids like so much. And then the crack came along, and man, she was gone.
It started out, it would be an every weekend thing. Then eventually I started, getting into it a day or 2 during the week, and eventually I was smoking every day. Couldn't go without it.
People were saying, you should talk to your mom because I think she's on drugs.
We were so concerned for the kids' safety, not only like their physical safety, but their emotional safety. I think Jerica has seen more than anybody should ever see.
Well, we were just playing a board game. We saw our mom crying. She said her heart hurt. We had to call the ambulance, and the ambulance came and they took her to the hospital. I'm so afraid that my mom was gonna die when she had a heart attack.
When I was 3 years old and my brother Frankie was 5, my father and mother were not getting along very well. And at one point, my mother was taking Frankie and I away, maybe for the last time, from my father. And he pulled out a revolver and shot our mother dead as she was holding me and taking Frankie by the arms and leaving him. I didn't know what had occurred. I was too young to know. I just remember noises and screams and lots of trauma. And the next thing I actually remember, I don't know, days or a week later, was arriving at this really big place called Milton Hershey School.
There's this quote on the wall in the cafeteria, and it says, "His deeds are his monument, and his life is our inspiration."
Milton and Catherine Hershey could not have children of their own. And so Catherine, known as Kitty, had a vision for starting a school for orphan boys.
And so out of that barrenness came all this fruit, all this wealth for these children.
But it was Kitty's idea. I like that a woman gets credit for it.
In 1918, Mr. Hershey gave the bulk of his wealth, $60 million, a staggering sum, to the school and his children.
The whole Milton Hershey dream is to make somebody else's life better. I want to live my life in a way that would have made Milton Hershey proud. In 2009, the school that he set up in 1909 is changing the lives of more than 1,500 students. I hope he knows, wherever he may be, that what he did 100 years ago saved my life.
Come on, Mom. Come on, Bear. Come on. I'm coming. Come on, Mom.
Hang on, guys.
You're coming, Mom? Are you okay?
I'm all right.
Okay.
The decision to send the boys to Milton Hershey was a long and hard decision.
This one, Mommy?
The opportunities that they have here at Milton Hershey, I can't give them at home.
Right here?
Hi, how you doing, Oliver? You excited?
Hey there.
Yeah?
I didn't want to call because I knew you were
I'm
crazy.
Mr. Sadowski. How are you?
I'm Kim. I'm Linda. How are you?
We have been at the Milton Hershey School for a little over 21 years. We've raised 3 of our own kids here. We're not here to replace the parents. We're here to help the parents, and that this is just, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle.
First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Jake Garvey, and our job here at the school is to help you, as a family, transition into Milton Hershey School and ultimately get to our goal. We recruit staff from across the country. We have people coming from everywhere. And it all begins with, starts and ends with the house parents. House parenting is not a job. It is a life choice.
When a parent brings their child here, it's a sacrifice of ultimate love.
Children, and have joined you into helping your children become successful.
Clap your hands.
Okay, here's how it happened.
I was getting high and Dom walked in, and I'll never forget it. I was sitting there and I was smoking, and he comes in and comes running over to me and says, "Give me that pipe," and takes it and tries to rip it out of my hands. For my 5-year-old to look at me and say, "Give me that pipe, you need to quit smoking," and tore me up.
This is everything we expect of you guys while you're here, okay? And I'm going to go through it with you, and I'm going to go through it with your family. When you come home from school...
Enrollment day has to be the most terrifying day in a student's life. To know that they're leaving their families, their schools, just everything that's familiar to them, and coming to a place where everything is strange, and you have these 2 people who you've never seen in your life that are now responsible to take care of you.
You're so nervous. You'll be all right.
Can I have a kissy?
Okay. Love you. Behave yourself.
Mom. Ouch. Hi, sis. Love you.
First night in the student home, I cried myself to sleep. And the next night, and the next night, and for probably 3 more years. It was really difficult to adjust to the school because I had always been with my mom, so homesickness was one of my biggest battles in deciding that I really wanted to be at Milton Hershey School.
This is a huge house. I don't even know where the living room is.
The bed is over here.
Okay.
That's my bed. Want me to hold that for you?
That's up to you if you want to. Got it? Okay. Thank you.
Take these guys outside for a little while.
Come here.
Are you okay, Mom?
I'm fine, honey. You have fun, okay? Good. All right.
All right. All right. Love you.
You're welcome.
Behave yourself. Make sure you're right. I have put my children in many dangerous situations. I've left my kids in the house alone during the night so that I could run out for another bag numerous times.
Could you get a dish rag and start wiping down counter?
How old are you? 10. Same thing. I'm turning 11 and what's today?
I think the hardest part, not having the boys here, is not getting them up for school in the morning, not putting them to bed at night, not doing the homework. You know, I miss that.
Do you guys like salad?
Yes.
Do you? Did you ever peel carrots before? You sure you never did this before?
Yeah, sure. I've never done this.
We always give the students a choice if they want to call us Mom, Pop, or Mr. and Mrs. Sadowski. It's up to them, whatever they're comfortable with. We really try and reassure the students that we're not trying to take their parents' place and that we would never be able to do that anyway.
When I had my heart attack, of course, all the money stopped. I did go on disability, but it wasn't enough to pay the bills. And then when they cut disability off, I had to deplete my 401k and my IRA. After I dropped Oliver and Baird off, my anxiety started again. I actually fell 3 times that week for absolutely no reason.
This is the page that you should have on top of your desk. What do you do when you're sick? If you don't know what an earache feels like, then it probably is that you'd never get them.
During the first adjustment period, there's 4 weeks where they can't see each other. And so I think it was a real concern during that period that I'm not going to see my mom again. You know, she's going to die, she's going to have another heart attack, and I won't be able to see her. Dear Lord, I just thank you for bringing all the boys safely today. I thank you especially for Baird and Tyvon, and I just ask that you would just put angels around their room, that they might just feel comforted as they go to sleep tonight.
The first day, I was a crybaby. I was in my room. I cried in the living room. I cried in my own room. I left the dinner table because I had to cry again, and I just wanted to go home.
Dom's really a happy-go-lucky little guy, and he's done really well.
Something that begins with the letter L. Dominic, what do you have?
A boy named Larry.
Larry. Very good.
Especially in the evening at night, he'd get a little homesick. It was a little bit of crying at night, and I miss my mom, and honey, I understand you miss your mom, and we just kind of talked about it and snuggled a lot, and after a few weeks, he got into the routine and did better. He really loves his mom. Dominic really loves his mom, and when he first came, he sat in my lap and he told me about the tough time that mom had been having and mom had gone through, and you know, and it was hard as a grown-up to sit there and listen to this 5-year-old talk about things that, you know, most 5-year-olds don't know about.
I'm back living in the town where I grew up. I was sexually abused as a child. I have a vivid picture in my mind of the woods, nothing but leaves. It's just leaves. This has done nothing but damaged me still haunting me every day. I told my parents, even though it was tough, my worst fear is for my kids to be molested and have to live with that for the rest of their life. And it almost happened.
Like 2 or 3 months ago, not even, someone broke into my friend's house when I was sleeping over, and they tried to climb in bed with us. I feel a lot safer. They had a meeting before we went to sleep, and they told us there was security systems, fire alarms for any fire, and they were right down the hall from us, so it's not like you have to be worried and wake up in the night and being like, is there anybody here and things. So it's kind of a break.
You should be writing this in your book. Everybody's looking at the chart.
Sometimes I feel that my childhood was taken away, but at times I feel that I'm also lucky because coming here, it's pretty lucky to come here.
Now as I divide, I have to decide. So am I going to put it over here, Jerica? If there's a perfect student in the classroom, it's Jerica. Jerica is a leader in my classroom. She does her work. She's very motivated, self-motivated. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. All right. Academically, her effort and her conduct, straight A student.
Okay, so CVV Go Fight went on this window and the one exactly across from it. Jerica, I think the wheel's moving.
She doesn't try to be bossy or organize the other girls formally, but they definitely gravitate towards her and want to do what she's doing. There's just something about her that the other girls really like.
Our ball game is underway. Thank you. All right, Jimmy. 45-19.
Kyle, can you play ping pong with me? Oops. You squished it. What? Verdi broke it. I did.
Who did that?
Kyle. Kyle and I were playing and he said,
Why would a ping pong ball look like that?
he stepped on it by accident. You hit it, and then you went like that, and then we started playing, and then we started. You stepped on it to pop it up. No, I didn't.
Bear just has a lot of trouble getting along with others. He constantly instigates them, and he always has to have a say in everything.
This month's topic we're dealing with, can anybody see by the books what topic we might be dealing with? Anger, that's right, because you know what? Sometimes we get angry, and sometimes we don't know what to do with our anger.
He's going to a good sports club after school on Fridays, and he's learning different techniques of how to handle when you don't get your own way.
I'm gonna go around the table and you identify one thing that makes you angry.
My sister, when she yells at me.
I know they had a lot of issues with the older sisters bullying, and they really hated it, and they feel so much more secure here, and they talk about the chaos that was at home and the bullying. When you're bullied, you end up being a bully.
Ow! You can't see where it is.
My sister Chrissy, she's the meanest one.
One.
Every time I go near her,
Two.
say something to her, she hits me or hurts me in some kind of way.
Well, there were certain times
before breaks that I would decide to stay here because I didn't want to go home because of some of the problems at home. So I guess being in Milton Hershey is a bit more comfortable. It doesn't have as many problems or conflicts as home does.
Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the wonderful day we had today, and that you just bless our food while we enjoy it. And we'll have a blessing over the time we have of Halloween, celebrating your love and being animals and knowing in the arks that you gave us a promise that you would never make that flood again with the sign of a rainbow, and that someone could make the ark and we could paint it. Mom did a wonderful job with making the waves and the cross and the dove. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
The dove. What's a dove?
Is everybody excited about going to treat night?
Yeah!
What'd you guys say? No?
Mom, are we gonna go to other student homes? I got
Yeah.
What do you think? Oh, Mom.
We're taking the ark with us.
Mom, sweet. Mom, there's a student home. You starts with the W.
Wait. Chew what's in your mouth and then talk, okay?
When does trick-or-treating start?
5:30. Goes under. That's a cute little puppy. Okay, guys, we're ready. You gotta make your animal sound. I always wanted to be a brunette. I'll try that wig on later after everybody goes to bed.
You guys look great. Everybody, take one, okay? Again. How you all doing?
Noah's Ark, I thought so. And I
Hey, where are they? Where's who? Your tattoos. He stared at his arm.
When Oliver first came here the first day, I had all the kids introduce themselves. And he said, "My name is Oliver Thompson. Do not make fun of my name. I get in a lot of fights, and people better not pick on me." I remember that was the first thing. So I really started thinking about where he was coming from. He hasn't made any friends. And when I've asked him, "Don't you want to make some friends?" And he said, "I don't need any friends. I have you, my brother, and my mom." And I said, "Well, I'm not always going to be here. Next year I won't be here. Don't you want to make friends with other kids?" And he goes, "Not really."
I fear relapse. It could happen. I know that the statistics are not in her favor. And if she falls this time, the children aren't directly involved and they're not in danger.
I'm gonna be honest, I f***ed up the other week. I went out and I was getting high, spent $50. I was out for 2 hours. You know, I've thought about it after that, but it hasn't been a desire or, anything like that. I've wanted to go out and drink. I've been really wanting to go out and drink lately. I want to go out to the bar just because of the party scene,
Kept waking up all night.
I was throwing up all night.
Good.
You didn't want me home anyway.
Would have liked to have known where you were.
Oh, I don't even remember half the night last night. That's the problem when I drink.
Your dad didn't sleep, I didn't sleep. Bub was up because he wakes up and wonders where Mommy is. That was not a good morning. And I said, "What are we gonna do with Bub?" I said, "What are we gonna tell Bub?"
The one that's in the middle is named Bub. We call him Bub, but his real name's William. Bub didn't have a spot, so he has to stay at home for right now.
Didn't do anything wrong.
He's had a lot of rejection in his life, and he's always felt left out. He's told me that.
Let me see. Their father is not in the picture. He is in jail at the moment. Well, now all you did there was write exactly what they had there. You're supposed to transfer it into that. And you're supposed to rate each number in 2 other ways.
No, I'm not doing
Well, I guess you are. Bub, you are not going. Don't you leave. No. So he just called you to come and rescue him because he doesn't want to do homework. Yeah, sneaky. Come on, Bub. No, get out of that car.
So when Jerica and Dom got accepted into Milton Hershey and Bubby didn't, once again, he's feeling, what about me?
I have 2 big goals. One is to stay financially above the rising tide, and the second is to get Bub into Milton Hershey School. Are you in a better mood now?
Jerica, I think ideally would either like for her and the brother that attend Milton Hershey School to move back with Mom and Grandma, or to make it more fair, send the younger brother to Milton Hershey School too. Because I think she feels that he's getting all of Mom's attention now and the grandparents' attention, and she's obviously feeling jealous about that and wishing the situation was somehow more fair between the siblings.
Look, you're right here.
What does his future hold? You know. Dom and Jerica are going to be successful because they're smart, they've got personalities, they're fitting in, and they're going to have fun, and they're going to come out of there like the other people I've run into have been there. It's like, thank God for Milton Hershey. That's all I can say.
When Santa's sleigh bells ring, I listen all around. The herald angels sing, I never hear a sound.
$19.76 is all I have in the checking account right now. Baird's like, well, some of my friends were telling me that, you know, the moms and dads were the ones that buy the presents, but I don't believe them. No, there is absolutely no way that my mom is Santa Claus because she doesn't have the money. Christmas every year is probably the most stressful time for me. I will never have enough money to produce what I want to do, you know, for Christmas. I like that.
Nintendo DS. Bubby wants a Nintendo DS. That's one of these. I'll never be able to afford that for him. I was heavily into crack Christmas time last year. I was stealing money to smoke. It wasn't about anything but getting high.
Now, remember what I told you about that ugly end?
Oh, yeah.
What can you do with that? Yep.
This is the last day of school, and the kids are going home for Christmas break today. They'll be home for 2 weeks, which is really exciting for them. Most of them. Some have some anxiety about going home also, if they're going home to some negative things at home.
Feliz Navidad!
Holidays are particularly tough because those expectations about being picked up, being taken home, they reach their full peak. And a lot of students aren't picked up. And many who are go home to a place that isn't that warm fantasy that they've made up in their own minds.
The fantasy, the hope that their parents will pull things together and that they'll come home and they'll have a great relationship with their parents. It does make it very hard.
This Christmas is probably going to be more special than last year because last year I didn't get to see my mom or my dad. This year I think it's going to be like a normal family and have like everybody here with the tree decorated and opening presents and all being happy and stuff.
What's different this year than last year?
You're here.
Are you happy about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't even remember what I can get. Yes, Bob? Do you believe in Santa? Yes. I don't.
Dum, you'll have presents from Santa and he won't.
He's not gonna bring you no presents. Because he's not real. Yes, he is. He lives in the North Pole.
Make a spot on the bed for me.
No.
It's your room. I don't want to be a part of it no more.
What's wrong?
Because your stupid, retarded son.
What about him?
Me and Dominic spent 3 hours in this room cleaning and we didn't even get it all finished. And he just goes and messes it up all the time. He's dumb and retarded. Because you don't do nothing about it. That's for sure. You baby him like he's nothing. He is a human. He can be disciplined from his mother.
You dream of this home that doesn't exist, and you dream of this life that doesn't exist, and then you go home and nothing is as you had planned and or expected. In the end, like, Milton Hershey School was home, and you realize that the older you get. But then you have the weight of the fact that you wish you weren't happy at Milton Hershey School. Like, you wish that you had gone home and you had had this amazing, perfect Christmas break like you'd been planning in your head.
You know the situation with her dad, where he's like not really in the picture, but he pops up every now and then. Jerica's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Him and his girlfriend have a baby now. And she's always wanted a sister, and she has not yet got to see this little baby. So she was promised by her dad that she was going to get to see her, and he never came through. She might be a little emotional.
All right, well, we'll watch her. You know, I mean, it's not an uncommon situation
Right.
for girls here to have relatives going in and out of jail.
The worst part was that over Christmas we were supposed to see my dad, but we saw him for like 2 hours and that was it.
Let's try to make sure that we support people. If someone is having a rough time and someone's bullying them, remember, you need to report it. Let's keep those things in mind. I know it's been a couple weeks you've been away, but remember that and our sacred values, especially the mutual respect.
All right.
You get to walk.
See you, buddy.
What? Yeah.
Love you.
That's called a left beaker. Is that everybody typing? Watch.
My mom used to say that every night while she would be in Pittsburgh and I was in Hershey, before she went to sleep, in her mind, she would travel the highway and she would go to Hershey and she would walk into my room and she would say goodnight to me.
How you feeling? You'll be okay. Okay, try and fall asleep quick, okay?
They picked me up at work on Thursday morning for a warrant that I had out that I didn't even know about. This one I'm worried about. It's for forgery and theft by deception. People like me, we end up going to jail.
This morning when your mom went to work, that police officer that was here last night went down there and he arrested her because of this problem that we thought we had taken care of. So I don't know when Mommy's coming back. So what's going on in your mind?
Nothing.
Are you scared?
Jerica, please come to the office. Jerica, to the office, please. You can't think of like an event or something that happened that made you act out?
I don't think you're denying that for last night for several hours you were being very unruly, that you were running around the house saying very disrespectful, horrible things about myself and Mrs. Jones. You were trying just to disrupt everything that was going on in the house. And the consequences are going to be 5 days and 5 hours, 5 days on restrictions, 5 hours of chores. And to help us communicate, I'm going to have you journal every day, every one of those 5 days. I don't dislike you. I think you're a good kid. Okay?
Those kids who have had positive relationships, or what I say is have been successfully attached to their parents or family of origins, separate much better because they know how to develop relationships and they're not afraid to develop new relationships. But those families who tend to be enmeshed or have some unhealthy relationships or role reversals, I think they tend to struggle more.
I don't really know everything that's going on with Jerica's mom, but when I talked to Jerica's mom after telling her about the incident, she said, well, tell Jerica I'll call her back on Saturday. And from Jerica's point of view, like, you know, she's got to be thinking, does Mom really care? You know, it's going to be 4 days. I just got in the biggest amount of trouble I've gotten in all year, basically. And my mom doesn't want to call and yell at me?
You apologized?
Yes.
And who told you to apologize?
I just thought it would be the right thing to do.
And that's the Jerica I know. You know what's right, and you felt that was the right thing to do. Very good. I'm really happy to hear that. But, you know, there are consequences for behavior that's not acceptable. And we talked yesterday about you having to step down from student government until the beginning of the third marking period. Both in the student home and in school, she was Spartan, goal at student home, as up until December. In the same student home with the same girls, the same house parents.
So after the long Christmas holiday, or?
That seems to be when her world started to crumble.
There was a couple times where I tried to go home, like, not necessarily like run away, but it's like I would act out or do something I wasn't supposed to do, or kind of get my house parents' attention, like, to let them know, maybe not verbally, like, I don't want to be here. Like, if they would, like, correct me on something, like, oh, Lamont, you didn't do your chore right, and I don't care.
You two were assigned to get the kitchen done. You need to get the kitchen done. If you want to have a good day today. You got to listen to your house parents, you got to listen to me and Mrs. Jones.
I don't listen to you. What's the choice? We have choices now. I don't even have to breathe if I don't have one too. I know. I don't even got a blanket if I want to.
So anybody that's done with their chore, go ahead and get your backpack. Get started on your schoolwork in the dining room, please.
Right there.
Can't help but work together productively, and Jerica's gonna have to leave.
But I'm being a sweetheart.
All right, Julissa, I asked you to do something you're not doing. I'm gonna take a minute from
I'm
you.
going. You're not the rush me. Well, you're not going fast enough.
Jerica, you need to focus on your studies, or I'm gonna take a merit from you.
Mr. Jones. And her name.
Jerica, little stuff like that. Like after I say I'm gonna take a merit, you say, take a merit. It's not acceptable. Being a house father is to be the father figure for the girls in my home. Some of them are very defensive, like, you're not gonna replace my father. Even though their father really might not be a very good father figure. And so it's no coincidence that a lot of the problems happen on Mrs. Jones's night out.
We working for an hour and...
An hour and 20 minutes.
Because Cassandra don't know how to vacuum.
Joshua, listen. Jerica, you need to focus on what you need to do right now. I don't want any input from you. I want you quietly working on your homework. Jerica, you need to go to your room and work on your homework.
Why?
You're obviously not getting it done. You're not focusing.
I only have to read this thing.
Please go to your room and finish your homework.
I'm doing my homework.
She continued to get herself into trouble with disrespect, bullying other students, and then on Sunday, her and 3 other students decided they were going to run away from the student home.
An incident took place in the van with Jerica bullying another student. The house father had to stop the van. At that point, Jerica and another student began kicking him repeatedly in the back, shoulder, and arm. Yesterday, before we ended our meeting, we discussed the possibility of terminating Jerica from Milton Hershey School.
It was totally evident that Joshua's drama of wanting to get out of here gave Jerica that gateway to vent.
Yep.
And she ran away with her. She attacked her house parent with her. She's following Joshua through this vent.
The conflict is because her school record is so good. 3.8 GPA, effort and conduct, every marking period. And some of you have her, Rick has her.
Why was she so angry? What in the world made her so angry? Does anybody know?
What's the real problem? Let's get to the real problem in your life. And how can I help you? What are some problems that you feel that you're going through now that's really bothering you and you cannot handle them? You thought you could, but obviously you can't. What are they?
My brother not getting in.
Okay, your brother not being able to get in Milton Hershey. I know that really bothers you, that your brother can't get in. Is there anything you can do? It's not in your control, is it? It's not in your control. So where is your brother now?
Probably in school.
He's probably at school. He's with your mom. And why is that a problem? That he's not here?
Because he probably is going to foster care.
Why? What makes you feel he would? There's a reason you think he might go to foster care.
Because of my mom's background.
What's another problem that you're having?
Not being able to see my dad or my little sister.
Okay.
I'm having mixed feelings because the baby is having like a better time with like her parents than me, Bub, or my brother Dom, and it feels like she's like more important.
When you have things that are troubling you, I'm going to give you a journal that you just write it, and it's private. Matter of fact, I'll buy you one that has a lock on it. And you need to journal. You need to write down your thoughts. You need to find people, your support. Who are some people in your support system that you can go to? You got a counselor, Ms. Dr. Allen. You know how to seek your counselor, right? Who else can you see? You can talk to me anytime. I would love taking you out sometimes on the weekend. I'm not your dad, but at least I could take you out, be something different.
Oliver had a real hard time transitioning back this time. When he came back, every time he'd walk around the corner, there'd be tears coming out of his eyes. He really missed his mom.
Happy birthday, dear Oliver. Happy birthday to you. Pop, they rushed through that and I couldn't even catch up.
All in one breath?
You just blown up my face.
Yay!
Oliver also had a birthday on Monday, and we had invited Linda to come up Sunday evening for a piece of birthday cake. And she ended up getting sick. I think she had a stomach virus and called and said that she couldn't make it. And he was really devastated. Probably the hardest thing for us to see is when parents call and say that they're coming, and you see the student looking out the window and waiting and watching, and then they just don't show up. I had to find a distraction to take him somewhere else. And I had bought a new karaoke machine, and I decided to get it out because I know how much he loves to sing.
Can I start? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
I was wondering if Bob was coming to Milton Hershey School, and if he's not, can you take us out of the school?
Can we take her out of the school? That's scary. I think what she said was if Bub doesn't come up there, she wants to leave the school. Did I hear that, or am I? At Christmas time, Gail talked about wanting to get her own place, wanting to move back into the old house, get herself back to being an independent person again. And the kids were all gung-ho about this. And I was watching it and I was thinking to myself, no, stop it. You've got to tell, you can't be doing this in front of the kids because they're going to think, okay, mommy's back, mommy's better, mommy's going to have a house, we can all be a family again. Well, somebody needs to tell them. When mommy was down and out on drugs, mommy sold the car for drugs. The computer wasn't stolen, mommy sold it for drugs.
She has some pretty deep anger issues, and I think she's feeling a little bit abandoned. And coming here was just another brick in the road to feeling abandoned by her mom and her grandparents, and especially with her brother not being accepted into the school, so there was that unfairness. It's not all that surprising to me in retrospect that she wasn't able to bond successfully with us.
Would we have been looking at terminating her prior to the assault on Monday?
I think I might get terminated. Because if it's taking them this long to decide, then it's probably termination.
Do you realize if you come home, children and youth are going to take you and put you in a home and I won't see you anymore? Do you know this?
Basically, your group is now saying that your initial thought of putting her enrollment forward for termination, that you're now moving away from that.
We are, and the reason being that we're not sure that we've exhausted all of our resources.
I think part of the key here is getting the grandmother and the mother to fully understand, because what I found out in my investigation is, in fact, that potentially the mother had been selling her a bit of a dream when she went on her last home visit.
We'll support her and mentor her and make sure that she's successful, but it has to come from her.
This is it. This is the time you have to show that you really want to be here. You really want to be here. And I wish I could tell you, Jerica, all your problems are going to go away. But I can't tell you that.
And you're going to have to decide today that you're going to be tough. Mom, you're going to have to decide that you're going to be tough. And grandparents, because there can never be, well, things are getting better at home and just stick it out for 3 more months, just wait till Christmas, just wait till summer. Because if you do, she will never, ever make the adjustment.
It says, I, Jerica Bechtold,
So
recognize
you
and accept the fact that as a
and grandparents have to be the strong ones to help her. She can't be expected to carry this load. She's still a child, smart, but she's still a child. How are we going to help her understand, Jerica, don't throw this away?
Jerica will be transferred to another student home.
There's absolutely nothing that can replace graduating from this school.
And her house parents will be William and Sherry Keenley. Jerica, come on and meet your new house parents. This is Mr. and Mrs. Keenley. Introduce yourself, please.
My name's Jerica.
Hi, Jerica. Welcome. Things are a little different in the homes up here on the hill.
Right now, you will not have your personal stuff. I think some of that's school stuff. I hope that you're honest with me when we go through it, and if it's not, we'll take it out and put it with your personal stuff. Okay. You can earn your personal stuff back by being on gold for 2 weeks in a row. All right. Do you want me to help you?
Doesn't matter.
You want to do it by yourself?
Sure, yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want me to hang out?
Doesn't matter to me.
She was great on detentions. She did everything, never complained. So we actually cut her detentions in half and let her off detentions early. I gave her a bracelet with little rhinestones on it and a heart, and told her how proud I was of her. And this was completely a 7th and 8th grade home. And I think that part of the reason they transferred her here was so that she wouldn't be top dog in the house. And there would be people that would be older and would obviously, someone else would be the alpha. As soon as she was off detentions, she went right for the alpha girl in the house and associated herself with her. It doesn't take long to figure out who that is. They're very smart. We've had kids leave on breaks and not come back, and there's nothing I can do. And I've cried over them, and it didn't bring them back. We did talk about her future. I asked her where she stood on that, and she wants out. And she said that she's here because she knows she has to be. And as soon as she can withdraw, she will. If she gets to feeling like this is a safe place where she's not going to have to be around the things that she's been around, and it's not someplace she's just being thrown, she might come around and really embrace Milton Hershey for all that it can give her. I wouldn't bet one way or another which way this one's gonna go.
Guys, don't you look handsome?
Yeah.
Wow, you're all dressed up.
Well, you want to go inside now? And not stay out here?
It's cool out here.
Would you like to take a seat?
Sure. Right here? Thank you. Hello.
You would like to fill out the menu?
Okay.
Would you please? Would you? Is that?
In the process of cleaning the picture. That's a clean one right there.
Is that yours? Yeah. Oh my, buddy. Hey, Rick. A chef selfie. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Thank you. Mwah. Love you too.
Thank
you. Mwah. Thank you. When they came home, he had asked me if the house was clean. And I said, no. I said, working on it, room by room, but I said, I don't think it'll ever be clean. He says, well, when we come home, we're going to help you clean.
Well, here's some happy thoughts first. I'm in dance and my routine's going very good. I think you would probably want to see the dance because you haven't seen me do anything for a while. So, here. This is our routine. There's a twist blade.
You do not like green eggs and ham?
Dominic's a really great kid. I love him to pieces. It's been a lot of fun having him in the student home. He's very happy. He's very intelligent. It's been neat watching him go from, not reading to reading very well.
I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere.
So what you're saying is you don't like green eggs and ham?
I do.
I'm glad he's in kindergarten. We get to keep him longer.
Hey, Jerica. And in the dark and on a train and in a car and in a tree. There's lots of them. There's only three.
Sita, what are you doing for us today?
She's saying we go on. I didn't know nothing. I was stupid. I was foolish. I was alive to myself.
This is my assistant, Eli. Eli, we're going to put the magic hat on you here. You just hold your head still. We're actually going to start out with the card trick. And Eli, what we're going to do is use a deck of cards. All the cards are different. Eli, I'll flip down through here. When you want me to stop, you say stop.
You were here, it's gone for me on my way. But that's not gonna happen because you're so far away.
I thought she was good, just the fact that she wrote those lyrics on her own. And
She wrote them.
She wrote them.
She made up her.
And it was about doing well for her grandma. And it sounded like in the lyrics that her grandma must have passed on.
So what'd you think about being back today?
It was fun.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you miss SGA?
Yeah.
I'm going to be recommending 6th graders for next year, so I need to know if you're still interested, if you want to stay on, or what do you think?
I want to be in it.
You do? Okay, good. And I want you to be in it because I think it's good for you and I think you're good for SGA. You're going to have this conversation with me 7 years from now. And you're going to come up and you're going to give me this big old hug and you're going to say, Mrs. Webster, I am so glad we had that talk. And I'm so glad I stayed. And now I'm going to go to college and my college is paid for and I'm going to be a doctor and you're getting older, so I'm going to take care of you. I've got a connection with Jerica that I would like to keep going next year. I would love to see Jerica as SGA president before she leaves the middle school, and definitely by high school, staying involved with the SGA, getting into a dance group. My biggest hope for Jerica will be seeing Jerica walk across that stage when Jerica gets to 12th grade. Early in the morning, 6:45, to sing and dance some more.
Once I decided to branch out and join activities such as dance or band or SGA, I found that I was comfortable with myself, and now I can actually speak in front of large groups as the president of the SGA, and I find myself comfortable with even debate. So I joined mock trial, and I found my future, and I'm really excited to start my journey beyond Milton Hershey School, but it sort of makes me sad that I have to leave in June.
Hey, boys and girls, listen up, please. You're going to be going to 5th grade next year, so this is your time to see what the school looks like.
I'll put my coat back on.
Today was a really big day for Oliver. He had the opportunity to go up and visit the middle school that he's going to be attending next year.
This school is huge.
It is huge.
Who's a little nervous about maybe coming up to middle school here? And who is really excited about coming to middle school?
When you transition from elementary to middle school, you go from being in a more self-contained classroom setting to changing classes, and that'll all be new to him. So that'll be really exciting for him to be able to go up and kind of preview what it's going to be like before he gets there.
Good morning. Good morning. And welcome. The girls and boys that are with me, they are the SGA. Okay, they are going to start out by telling you a little bit about Catherine Hall. Then we'll take time for your questions.
My name's Jerica, and we have an effort and conduct party if you
Jerica had a lot of things that she was dealing with through the school year, and I think she was able to deal with them in a very mature way for a student her age. By the end of the school year, I almost saw a different Jerica. Jerica and Nate, you're going to take your group and you may start your tour. I think at Milton Hershey School, it provided opportunity for Jerica to focus on Jerica and not as much on her environment. I definitely see more smiles, and it has been a delight to be her teacher and see that.
In this room, we normally have the we in here.
It's almost like she's saying, I'm gonna make it in spite of.
Then there's step party something. Yeah.
When Oliver first came in the fall, he was very insecure. He lacked confidence. So we've seen a lot of growth in those areas. He really has come out of his shell. He seems to know who he is now, and he likes who he is. Oliver's been involved in the choir. He's also been playing baseball and a lot of things that I don't think he had the opportunity to be involved in before he came here. I think he's really building in his confidence.
Are you afraid to get lost?
When I came to Milton Hershey School, I didn't have that much friends because I'm always scared to make new friends. Now I'm making all these friends and I'm ready to go to 5th grade and middle school. I learned a lot.
It's very nice to meet you today.
The sense of independence. Being at the school has taught you that I can make it on my own, but I don't have to be on my own.
When Baird first came to Milton Hershey, you could tell that he was very self-centered, very immature in his thinking. He didn't think outside of himself. And recently, we had a situation in our school where there was a senior named Chloe who has been struggling with cancer for a long time, and they believe that she's near the end.
Chloe is a student at Milton Hershey School, and she's a senior, and she has cancer, and she's in the Hershey Hospital right now. We're gonna walk for her to raise money for the American Cancer Society fundraiser. I wanted to see the person who I was walking for.
was actually really excited about it. I've been wanting to do something like that for a while. It's fun to have something like this be in my hands. When I first came to Milton Hershey School, I was 8 in 3rd grade. The day after my 14th birthday, I found out I had osteosarcoma, which is a bone cancer, and it had already spread to my lungs by that time. And I went through 34 weeks of chemo. I was in remission for a good 1.5 years, and then I had a scan and they found another lump in my lung.
It became pretty obvious that Chloe's disease was out of control. And at that point, a number of different treatment options were being discussed, including more chemotherapy, including more surgery. And Chloe and Sarah talked, and Chloe said, "I'm not interested in this."
It's hard for me to accept, but I will always honor her and respect her wishes, because I don't have to walk in her shoes. Although I would have given anything to bear the burden. But like Chloe says, you know, everything happens for a reason. Although none of the reasons are good enough for me.
This year, someone came up to me and asked me what I wanted this year. And among material things, I wanted a Relay for Life or a big fundraiser.
I'll take a couple. It left an impression on me that the school bonded together so well like that for Chloe and her family. I think it was really good that we came together like that and supported her and her family and continue to support them even now.
One of the things that makes our Milton Hershey family so amazing is the resources that we're able to utilize for our students. My hope for Chloe with this weekend is for her to realize how important she is to this community when she sees the number of people who turn out tonight. For her cause, she's going to be overwhelmed.
We're just all a big family. It was really a fun thing that we were doing something to help somebody like Chloe.
The lessons we learned here were not only those of history and Shakespeare, but of the golden rule and the value of an honest effort. Milton and Catherine Hershey gave us an opportunity that many others only dream of.
Elizabeth Akeem.
Imagine where we might be if it weren't for the school our founders created.
Edward Choi.
Many of us come from places whose views included only abandoned lots and trash-filled dumpsters.
Lamont Edward Gaydon.
When we come to MHS from a broken home or a hazardous environment,
Julie Janae Malave.
we are given a chance to turn things around and create a better future for ourselves. So thank you, and good luck to the class of 2009.
Having to leave my home and leaving that in order to start my future is a very difficult but rewarding experience.
I think the best way to give back would be to show them that I can go out into the real world and succeed based on what I got out of Milton Hershey School.
I don't think there's ever been a year out of the 28 years that I've been here that I didn't cry. Tears of just joy to see kids make it and that they're so excited and the accomplishment. Because they didn't just graduate from high school, but they're graduating from a home life situation that was very different than the normal student in the United States. Our goal at Milton Hershey School is that when we enroll a student, our goal is that they will make it to their graduation. That's number one. We really want them to get to graduation.
Every day of the year, the Milton Hershey School is saving thousands of lives and giving that life-saving gift not just to our students here, but to their families, and for our graduates who are breaking the poverty cycle. Almost all go on to college for the first time. So this life-saving gift that Milton and Catherine Hershey gave is one that produces profound impact every day of the year.
As a poor young boy, as I reflect on it, I didn't feel as if I was anybody. I felt worthless. All other kids were better off than I was. And the great thing I remember about coming to this school was that the adults made me feel as if I was someone. That I had a little bit of talent, a little bit of ability, and that they appreciated that and encouraged me.
Milton Hershey gave me a life that I wasn't born into. In a sense, like the institution itself is the parent. Like the institution and my mom, like those are my parents. They've both raised me. And one parent just had all the resources.
The school taught me independence. The school taught me fortitude. The school taught me family. Those three things are really the basics upon which I continue to live.
Milton Hershey once said, "Whatever you have and whatever you earn in life, use it wisely, use it for the good of others, and it will make you happy."